Hey Marvel Strike Force, I wanted to come in today and just kind of hit you guys with the news that's been going on lately. Um, we've got a few things that have been cooking this week. It's been busy. We've got Null, who's kind of still shaking up the arena. I just released a new arena video. Definitely go check that out. I'll show you the offense and defense that I'm using, what I'm seeing in the arena, why I think what's going on is going on, and we talk about that. Um, in this video, we're going to talk about the raids, the weird interaction in U32, and where I'm at with G20 and what I'm doing with current events. So let's start with raids. Raids. We've got the Chaos Storm raid launching today in two forms. We've got the Omega and the regular. The regular will be more like your mid-game, not completely full alliance, whatever you want to call it. It's more an individual based raid, so you're going to be able to still collect rewards. I think that as far as the rewards are fairly similar. I don't know that for sure. We haven't seen any pictures or anything to guarantee that, but that's kind of the impression I get. They said that most of the rewards are going to be on the raid, so it's going to be very individual based. And then there's the Omega Storm, which is going to be almost no rewards on the nodes. It's all going to be completion based, but I think we're going to get more milestone points in that version. I think that's their intention, so it's still going to be basically like Orcus. There's not a lot of change there. As far as this raid goes, we are seeing pushes for 105, pushes for purple ISO. I'm not pulling the trigger just yet. I want to see how things perform. I will be putting videos out on that content later today. I think my raid launches in like 6 hours, so stay tuned for that. It'll probably be at the end of the day. And I'll let you know how that goes. I think we're going to have 3 easy sections, 2 hard sections, just like we did in Orcus. So that's cool. With this, the only big change is they've changed how boss nodes were. When we got the mini bosses, it'd be like right at the end of the section, and then it was a harder node than the other two. We're still going to have that, but everyone's going to have their own individual boss node if they want to do it. It's just extra rewards, it's extra gold, it's extra raid attacks. It's just there. It's not anything exciting because they didn't put anything on the nodes, which I think is kind of a bit of a lame duck. Um, if you're going to make people do these extra nodes and they're not counted towards the leaderboard, there should be rewards for wanting to do them. Otherwise, what's the point? Um, if it doesn't give you credit and it barely does anything, is it worth the energy? I don't know. I'm kind of thinking no. Like if it's 20k gold, like an extra 50k, 100k gold a day, that's nice, but is it worth me building up characters and teams that I otherwise wouldn't build just to do a harder node? Because like I'm going to use skill for example. The skill nodes look, the boss node looks tough, but I don't know that the skill nodes themselves do. So can my Spider Society do the old skill nodes and just not do the boss node? Like, curious. We'll see how that goes. Same thing with the Hive Mind area. That team's feeling really dated, especially since they put in that mechanic that stops speed bar. So we are really in a situation where we've got 2 teams that just kind of feel old. They're trying to creep out Spider Society. They don't want that team to exist, um, especially since we all leveled it because of the 105 events. So they're trying to make that team go away, and then they're trying to make Hive Mind go away, which again is another team that functions with Null. I think they're danger teams, is what I'd call them. So stay tuned for that. I'm going to try and invest the least amount I can in Hive Mind, and I'm going to try and use Spider Society because I have them built to the moon. We'll see how that goes. If it doesn't work, then we are going to be spending some stuff on Hive Mind today. They did make a change, as we just talked about the mini boss nodes, and everyone has an individual one. They've changed the very end last 2 nodes. There used to be 8 last nodes on 4 for each side, for a main boss, so everyone had their own. They've now changed it to being part of the 100% completion required node, but there's only 2, 1 per side per zone, so there's a total of 6. But they've also put the one thing that everybody wants in the raid in there, which is T4 ability materials. And I think that's kind of lame. why didn't we spread the T4 ability materials out through the mini boss nodes instead of putting them on the end boss that everybody's got to do? I think that's kind of like a lame duck for everybody. Like everybody wants 10 more T4 ability materials. They don't want like why are we gonna fight over that? Why? Come on, Scopely. What are we doing here? Um, so yeah, look forward to the raid. I think it's gonna be fun. Um, no first time rewards that we know for sure. And as far as the lanes go, we know the left side is going to be Tech, Bio, Mystic, Skill, Mutant, and the right side is going to be Mystic, Skill, Mutant, Biotech. So Zone 2 and Zone 4 are going to be hard for both sides. Um, the right side, Zone 4, is going to be harder for longer. The left side, Zone 2 is going to be harder for longer. So pick your poison. They both going to kind of stink in the beginning, but one's going to stink longer. And I don't think it's that big of a deal. I'm sure we'll come up with a solution. I have a feeling that we might be able to use some of our Spider Society characters in the bio area because half of them are bio, and we'll see how that goes. We might be able to do some shenanigans there to kind of use some better stats than what the Hive Mind carrying characters offer if we can't get speed bar. So we'll see how that goes. I think that's about it for the raid. Let's go bounce over to the game and take a look at Crucible. So we've got Crucible going on right now, and it's the U32 tournament, and we kind of got something weird going on. Right now, we've got, and I don't have it on, I don't have a good example of it right now, but in this glass cannon roll, we have minus 90% max health going on right now. Now, when you read that, you think that the character is going to have 10% health, right? Like, that's what kind of comes to your mind. But that's not actually how it functions. Um, what's actually going on is you get minus 90% max health, but before that calculates, you also gain 20% max health. So you go to 120%, then you take minus 90%. So now you're at 30%. And if you have any other effects that increase your max health, those also stack in there. So like Super Scroll, Apocalypse. So if you had Super Scroll in there, you'd gain another 20%. Now it's minus 50%. So it's just like the more you can stack in there, the more you can negate it. So there's counterplay to it. But we also have counterplay that exists right now. There's multiple characters right now that stop death proofs, and I want to call those out. We have Medusa, who stops evade and death proof, so you can use her to do that. We also have Sentinel and the Orcus team. Now, it does require multiple members. You have to have 3 or more Orcus members that can also stop deflect and death proof. And then we also have the Cabal team with Namor. Namor does it also. In Crucible, if there's 2 or more Cabal enemies, they cannot gain death proof either. So we have 3 teams that stop death proof. So we can control, and then we also have Apocalypse and Ares. Apocalypse and Ares, they don't stop death proof, but they do have a stop for safeguard, and then we have characters that can flip. So we have multiple ways to turn death proof into a detriment. And they still have reduced health, it's just not quite how it reads. It reads more like if you were playing with Diablo or Path of Exile, where it's all additive and then it does its multiplicative stuff. And there's, it's just 2 different metrics, and understanding which one's which is not uncommon for games. It's a little confusing in this one because it's the first time they've ever done anything like it, but I don't think it's unreasonable. I think 10% would have been unplayable for most striker characters. So I'm perfectly fine with it, especially in a 3-room Crucible where we have 6 attacks. Like, worst case, you drop an attack, but guess what? Your opponent's going to drop an attack too. You can set up also main defenses that cause them to drop attacks, and everyone's playing by the same rule set. So to me, it's fine. I actually like it, and I think it's cool. I think it's cool that this season's had such a wide range of rooms. So super awesome. Let's go talk about the G20 store real quick. I am now at like 1.6 X-Men currency, or whatever you want to call it, these X-coins, and I'm just kind of buying everything right now. I'm thinking my threshold with I don't know how fast they're going to keep throwing us X coins. We got quite a bit this week, especially with the event that was pretty reasonable to get coins, the Kiln Tower that was pretty reasonable to get coins. I want to get back under. I want to be like 500k. Then I'll get kind of picky about what I pick. As far as this goes, I'm buying everything. I'm coring 50s until I get back down there. I want to be about 500k because if they keep throwing them at us, I want to be able to spend at the end. We got 45 days, which is a long time, so I'm not worried about that. As far as what I'm prioritizing, it's Mystic first, then it's Mutant, then it's Tech, and then it's Bio, then Skill. Now, or sorry, Skill, then Bio. We just don't have Bio characters right now. But with this new raid and knowing Bio is really tough, we know there's a Bio team coming. We don't know what it is yet. I have some theories. I'm thinking that it could end up being the Thunderbolts team. And the reason I'm thinking it's the Thunderbolts team is right now we know it's Ghost, we know it's Taskmaster, we know it's Songbird, and we know it's Hyperion. Now, one, I didn't think they'd all get the bio tag, but I'm starting to think maybe they dual trait the two old characters and they give everyone bio. I don't think that's unreasonable. Taskmaster with blinds, Ghost with her alt, those are good characters in raids. You just gotta give them some tools to be able to use them more often. So I think that's reasonable. I think that's could very well see that happen, especially after seeing what they did that vigilante team. Like, I don't, they can do whatever they want. They can make a battery to give them regen, like whatever they need to do. Like, and we've got one more character coming that we just don't know about yet. So yeah, I think it could. I think the bio team's going to be the Thunderbolts team right now. Now, don't quote me on that, but that's kind of what I'm calling right now. I still think Thunderbolts are coming in May because of the movie, so stay tuned for that. And because of that, I'm a little more eager to buy more bio gear because right now we just don't have any bio characters. Um, and as far as like all the other currencies, I'm dark promos. I'm spending my dark promos down. There's just nothing to buy. Like I'm at the point where I basically have enough for everything. I think the two main characters I have left is Zombie Iron Man and Red Hulk, and I'll probably finish them both off. And then I think only things left is like I think I'm Archangel and Ultron maybe. I don't remember. It's nothing crazy. Diamonds, I'm sitting pretty dang high on them, so I'm kind of just collecting right now. I'll probably try to spend down to like 1,000. I kind of think 4 and 5's coming because we got that updated UI in the war. I think I can show that too. We can go in there. I'm working on a war video to kind of tell you the updates that I'm going to do to offense and defense this season. Null is throwing a big monkey wrench in the war and what kind of happens there. So once I kind of figure that out a little better, I'll have that out for you guys. So stay tuned for that. But let's just go in here to like reactor or something. It doesn't show it here. On defense, it shows it, and well, we won't talk about that right now. Oh, and the other thing, our lovely overpower mechanic UI vanished. We used to have like a little lock over here by like the little heartbeat thing. It vanished with the latest update. So I don't know if overpower got pulled or what's going on, but we haven't heard anything. It wasn't well received, so I'm guessing it. I'm hoping it's gone, if I'm being completely honest. So that's just kind of a news update for everybody. Tell me what you guys think of this. Do you guys like these kind of videos? Do you want to see more? If it's something you like, comment down below. If it's something you don't like, and tell me why you don't like it or what you do like, so I can figure out a better way to format it. We'll just keep on rolling. And stay tuned. I'm going to have a U32 video out shortly.